Hey everyone! If you're enjoying these stories and want the full uncensored versions with much hotter exclusive content, be sure to check out my Patreon. There are already over 850 stories available, with new parts released every day. That's almost 1,000 audio story chapters ready to enjoy. You can also submit your own ideas and vote in weekly polls to help decide what stories come next. Poll number 31 is currently active on Patreon, and this story was chosen by Patreon members. All the links are in the description and pinned comment. Subscribe, stay connected, and enjoy the story. The afternoon sun filtered through the dense canopy of the Forest of Death's outer edges, casting dappled shadows on the training ground where Naruto Uzumaki sat cross-legged atop a weathered boulder. His orange jacket was unzipped, revealing a black mesh shirt damp with sweat from hours of intense taijutsu practice and chakra control exercises. At 18 years old, Naruto had grown into a lean, muscular young man, his spiky blonde hair tousled and blue eyes focused inward. But today, his mind wasn't solely on power or missions. Inside his consciousness, the vast mindscape stretched out, a sewer-like realm dominated by the presence of the Nine Tails. Kurama's massive form lounged behind the bars of the seal, Nine Tails swaying lazily. "Oi, kid!" the fox's deep, rumbling voice echoed. "You've been grinding yourself to the bone again. Still hopeless with the girls, I see. Sakura keeps you at arm's length, Ino teases but never commits. Pathetic, really." Naruto groaned, rubbing the back of his head even in the mental space. "Can it, Kurama? It's not like I have time. Between missions, training with Kakashi-sensei, and helping out around the village, besides, Sakura-chan is my teammate. I can't just, you know." Kurama's laughter boomed, mischievous and ancient. "What if I offered you a little gift? A special chakra infusion. Something from the old fox lore, a lust-tinged aura that makes women near you feel warm. Very warm. It could loosen things up. Make connections easier. Interested?" Naruto hesitated, curiosity piqued despite himself. The loneliness of his days, the lingering crush on Sakura that never quite faded, the awkward tension with other kunoichi, it all weighed on him. A boost? Like more strength, or something else? Nothing dangerous, right? Nothing you can't handle. Kurama replied with a sly grin. It amplifies attraction in females, stirs their chakra networks, brings hidden desires to the surface. Stronger with proximity and pre-existing feelings. You'll learn control eventually. For now, it's mostly passive. So, kid? In or out? After a long pause, Naruto nodded. Alright, but if it goes wrong, you're fixing it. Kurama's chakra surged forward, warm and tingling like liquid fire mixed with honey. It flowed into Naruto's coils, settling deep in his core and radiating outward as a subtle, invisible aura. Naruto gasped in the real world, eyes snapping open as a new heat pulsed through his veins. His skin prickled, and he felt different. More present. More magnetic. To illustrate, Kurama's voice dropped lower. To make sure you grasp the potential, let me show you a demonstration. A glimpse of what could unfold if you embrace this. Pay attention. The world around Naruto's mind blurred, and he was thrust into a vivid mental projection, a possible future scene, sharp and immersive as if he were truly there. In the vision, Naruto and Sakura Haruna were deep in a secluded section of the woods during what appeared to be a joint patrol mission. The air was thick with the scent of pine and earth. Sakura's face was flushed a deep crimson, her emerald eyes half-lidded and glassy with overwhelming desire. Her pink hair, usually neat in its short bob, was slightly disheveled, strands sticking to her sweat-dampened forehead. She was pinned gently against the rough bark of a large tree, her red shipao-style dress hiked up around her hips, white shorts discarded nearby. Her chest heaved with rapid breaths, the fabric of her top straining against her perky chest, sensitive buttons visibly hardened and poking through the material. "Naruto, on!" she moaned softly, her voice breathy and desperate. Her thoughts raced in a haze of shame and raw need. This is insane. We're supposed to be on a mission, but my body is burning up from the inside. My panties are soaked through, my head feels foggy. All I can think about is him. His hands, his voice, his chakra wrapping around me like this. I shouldn't want my teammate like this, but I do. God, I need him so badly. Naruto in the vision had his hands on her slim waist, pulling her closer as he kissed along her neck, nipping at the sensitive skin. One hand slipped under her top, cupping her melon firmly, thumb circling and teasing the button. Sakura arched into his touch with a sharp gasp, her legs trembling as she wrapped them around his hips. Your chakra, it's doing something to me, making everything so sensitive, please don't stop. He ground his hips against her, the hard bulge pressing directly against her. She was dripping, the heat radiating from her in waves. Sakura-chan, you're so wet already. Is this what you want? Yes. Naruto-kun. I can't take it anymore. Her hands fumbled with his pants, freeing his wand. The full and censored 18+ scene. Only $4 on Patreon. The vision dissolved abruptly, leaving Naruto back in the training ground, heart pounding, a noticeable tent in his pants from the intensely erotic projection. He was breathing hard, the images burned into his mind, Sakura's flushed expression, her begging words, the way her body responded so completely. Kurama's chuckle returned. See? That's the kind of effect we're talking about. The pink-haired one already has feelings buried deep. Proximity will accelerate it. You can try to suppress the aura a bit once you get the hang of it, but for now, go see her. She's expecting you for that mission briefing in the village. Enjoy, kid. Naruto stood on shaky legs, adjusting himself discreetly. That was way too vivid. You're sure this won't cause problems? Only the fun kind. Kurama replied. Now get moving. The day's not getting any younger. Naruto made his way back toward Konoha, the new chakra humming pleasantly under his skin like a second heartbeat. The village bustled with its usual energy. Merchants calling out wares, shinobi returning from missions, children playing in the streets. He waved to a few familiar faces, Shikamaru and Nara lounging on a rooftop, who gave a lazy nod and muttered something about troublesome energy around Naruto today. Kakashi Hatake reading his book near the mission desk, one eye crinkling in a smile as he noted Naruto seemed brighter somehow. Naruto's own thoughts swirled as he walked. What did Kurama really give me? That vision. Sakura looked so into it. But is this right? Using some fox chakra to affect her? Still, if she wants it to, maybe it's not so bad. I've liked her for years. This could change everything. He stopped by Ichiraku Ramen for a quick bowl, the owner Tuchi commenting that Naruto looked more confident today. Even Ayame blushed slightly when handing him his order, though she shook it off quickly. Naruto noticed the subtle glances, girls in the street lingering a second longer on him, a faint warmth in their cheeks. The aura was already at work, even at low levels. By the time he reached the designated meeting spot near the edge of the training grounds, a quiet clearing with a small stream, his anticipation had built. Sakura was already there, leaning against a tree, checking a mission scroll. At 18, she had blossomed into a beautiful young woman, short pink hair framing her delicate face, striking green eyes, and a toned yet curvaceous figure honed by years of medical ninjutsu and combat training. She wore her usual red sleeveless chipao dress with white shorts underneath, the hem riding up slightly as she shifted. A faint sheen of sweat glistened on her skin from the warm day. Naruto! There you are! She called, looking up with a smile that faltered slightly. Her cheeks tinted pink almost immediately as he approached within a few meters. You're late again, but whatever. Tsunade-sama assigned us a simple patrol mission along the southern border. Just checking for any unusual activity after those rogue reports. Should be easy. As Naruto drew closer, the effect intensified for Sakura. A sudden wave of heat bloomed in her lower belly, spreading outward like liquid fire through her veins. Her heart began to race, pounding against her ribs. Her green eyes widened slightly, pupils dilating as she took in Naruto's form, his broad shoulders, the way his jacket hung open, the confident set of his jaw. What the hell, she thought, gripping the scroll tighter. My body feels strange. Hot. Really hot. Especially down there. And Naruto, he smells different. Stronger. More. Attractive? No, that's crazy. He's my teammate, my friend. Why am I getting wet just standing near him? My buttons are getting hard, this is embarrassing. Focus, Sakura, *. She shifted her weight, subtly pressing her thighs together to relieve the growing ache between her legs. A light sweat broke out on her forehead and chest, making the fabric of her top cling a bit more noticeably to the curves of her breasts. Her breathing quickened, becoming shallower. Naruto noticed immediately. The way her face flushed from neck to cheeks, the slight tremble in her hands, how she avoided direct eye contact while stealing glances at his body. The new chakra in him reacted to her proximity, pulsing warmer. "Sakura-chan? You okay? Your face is all red. Are you feeling sick or something?" "I am fine," she stammered, voice a touch higher than usual. She fanned herself with the scroll, but it did little to cool the internal fire. "Just warm day, that's all. Let's go over the route. We head out tomorrow morning, but we should scout the area a bit today to prepare." They started walking along a less traveled path toward the southern woods, the village fading behind them. As they moved side by side, the distance between them closing naturally during conversation, Sakura's symptoms worsened. The heat in her core intensified into a throbbing need. Her panties grew damp, the fabric sticking uncomfortably to her slick folds. Every step sent little sparks of pleasure through her. Her mind grew foggy at the edges, thoughts of the mission blurring into vivid, unwanted, yet desperately wanted, images of Naruto's hands on her, his voice in her ear, his body pressed against hers. This can't be happening, she thought desperately, biting her lip to stifle a small whimper. I'm a kunoichi. I don't lose control like this. But every time he talks, his voice sends shivers down my spine. My chest feels tight, my breasts ache. I want him to touch them. God, what's wrong with me? It's like my body is betraying me, and it's getting worse the longer we're alone. Naruto observed her closely, his own heart beating faster, not just from the chakra, but from genuine concern mixed with the memory of the vision. He could sense the subtle shift in her chakra, the way it responded to his new aura. Kurama, this is really happening. She's reacting exactly like in that vision. I should stop this. But she looks like she's suffering. And I can't deny I want to help her. More than help. Sakura-chan, he said gently, stopping in a particularly secluded glade surrounded by tall trees and thick underbrush, far from any trails. The stream nearby provided a soothing backdrop. You're not fine. You're sweating, breathing weird, and you keep pressing your legs together. Did something happen? Or is it me? Sakura froze, her back to him for a moment, as she leaned against a tree for support. Her legs felt weak, knees threatening to buckle. The fog in her head made rational thought difficult. She turned slowly, eyes meeting his with a mix of embarrassment, fear, and raw hunger. Naruto, I don't know what's going on. Ever since you showed up today, my body has been going crazy. It's hot everywhere, especially between my legs. I'm so wet it's uncomfortable. My head feels cloudy, and all I can think about is you. Touching me. Kissing me. More than that. She took a shaky step closer, her hand reaching out to grip his jacket. I know this is sudden and weird. We're teammates. Friends. But please. Help me. I feel like I'm going to explode if you don't touch me. Kiss me. Do something. Anything. Naruto's breath caught. The aura pulsed stronger between them now, feeding on her admission and his own rising desire. He could see the signs clearly. Her dilated pupils, the way her tongue darted out to wet her lips, the prominent outline of her hardened buttons against the red fabric, the faint scent of her arousal in the air. His hardness twitched in his pants, already half-hard from the vision earlier, and now fully responding. Sakura-chan, if you're sure, he murmured, voice low and husky. I don't want to hurt you or take advantage. But yeah? I want this too. More than you know. She didn't wait. With a small, desperate sound, Sakura closed the distance, pressing her body flush against his. Her lips found his in a hungry, inexperienced but eager kiss. Her hands roamed his chest, feeling the hard muscle beneath the mesh. Naruto responded instantly, one arm wrapping around her waist to pull her tighter, the other cupping the back of her head as the kiss turned passionate, wet, and needy. If you're enjoying the story so far, I'd really appreciate a like, a subscription, and a comment. It really helps the channel grow and motivates me to keep creating more stories. Now, let's get back to the story. They broke for air, both panting. Sakura's eyes were glazed, her cheeks burning crimson as she looked up at him with pure want. More, please, Naruto. My body feels like it's melting. Naruto guided her gently to a softer patch of grass beneath the trees, laying her down with care. He hovered over her, kissing along her jawline and down her neck, sucking lightly at the pulse point that made her moan and arch. His hands moved to the hem of her chipao, lifting it slowly, revealing smooth, toned skin and the white shorts beneath. He hooked his fingers into the waistband and tugged them down along with her panties in one motion. Sakura gasped as the cool air hit her exposed core, but it did nothing to quell the heat. She was soaked, her pink folds glistening, buttons swollen and peeking. A thin string of wetness connected her panties to her heat as they were removed. Don't look too much. It's embarrassing, but I can't help it. Naruto's eyes darkened with lust. You're beautiful, Sakura-chan. So wet for me already. He ran a finger along, gathering juices before circling button. Sakura jerked, a sharp cry escaping her. He leaned down, replacing his finger with his tongue. Want the full uncensored 18+ scene? Only $4 on Patreon, 1,000+ scorching hot episodes. Naruto didn't let up, gentling his licks as she came down but keeping his fingers moving slowly, drawing out the aftershocks. Sakura panted, looking down at him with hazy eyes. That was amazing. But I need more. I need you, Naruto. Please. He stripped off his jacket and mesh shirt, revealing his defined abs and chest. His pants followed, freeing his wand. Sakura's eyes widened appreciatively, licking her lips. She sat up enough to pull her top over her head, revealing her melons with puffy pink buttons, hard and begging for attention. Naruto obliged, leaning in to take one into mouth. Your mouth feels so hot. After lavishing attention on both until they were red and glistening, he positioned himself between spread legs. He rubbed the wand along entrance, coating it thoroughly. Ready, Sakura-chan? She nodded frantically, pulling him down for a deep kiss. Yes. I need you. He pushed in slowly. The complete steamy version awaits on Patreon for just $4. They collapsed together, sweaty and panting. Naruto stayed inside her for a moment, both basking in the afterglow. Sakura clung to him, nuzzling his neck, placing soft kisses along his jaw. Her body still hummed with residual pleasure, the fog slowly lifting but leaving a warm satisfaction. After several minutes of comfortable silence, broken only by their breathing and the stream's gentle flow, Sakura spoke softly. Naruto, that was incredible. I don't know what came over me, but I don't regret it. My body feels so much better now. Lighter. But what happened? Why did I lose control like that? Naruto gently pulled out, watching with fascination as a nectar leaked from well-used flower. He grabbed his jacket to clean them both tenderly before helping her dress. They sat side by side against the tree, his arm around her shoulders. It's complicated, he admitted, rubbing his neck. Kurama gave me this new chakra today. A special kind. It affects girls around me, makes them feel heat and desire. Stronger if they already like me, I guess. That vision he showed me earlier, it was like a preview of something like this happening. I didn't know it would hit you so fast or hard. Sakura processed this, her analytical mind kicking back and despite the lingering haze. She should have been angry or scared, but instead, she felt oddly accepting. The pleasure had been too intense, too good. And deep down, her long-buried crush on Naruto made it feel right. So it's like a aura? From the Nine Tails? That explains the sudden onset and how my chakra felt, responsive to yours. She turned to look at him, green eyes soft but serious. Promise me you'll be careful with it, Naruto. Don't use it to force anyone. But with me, if it happens again, I wouldn't mind. It felt amazing. Like all my stress and overthinking just melted away. Naruto smiled, relief washing over him. He pulled her closer, kissing her temple. I promise. And yeah, I'd like that too. A lot. You're amazing, Sakura-chan. Always have been. They stayed like that for a while longer, talking quietly about the mission tomorrow. How they'd keep things professional in public but perhaps steal moments alone. Sakura admitted she might need help again soon if the effects lingered. Naruto promised to practice controlling the aura's intensity with Kurama's guidance. As the sun began to dip lower, they stood and made their way back toward the village, hands brushing occasionally, secret smiles shared. The new chakra still hummed within Naruto, but he felt more grounded now. He had crossed the line today, but it had been mutual, passionate, and deeply satisfying. In his mind, Kurama's voice rumbled with satisfaction. Not bad for a first test, Kit. The girl is already addicted to the feeling. Wait until the others get a taste, Ino, Anko, even the Hokage herself. This is going to be fun. Naruto chuckled under his breath, ignoring Sakura's curious glance. Yeah, fun. But I'm calling the shots on how far it goes. For the first time in a long while, the future felt exciting rather than just another day of training and missions. The special chakra had awakened something new, not just in the girls around him, but in himself. A confidence, a hunger, and the beginning of something much larger. He glanced at Sakura walking beside him, her cheeks still faintly pink, a content smile on her lips. Whatever came next, they would face it together. And if the aura brought more moments like the one in the glade. Well, Naruto wasn't complaining. The village lights glowed warmly in the distance as they approached, the day ending on a note of hidden promise and newfound intimacy. Sakura Haruna woke with a gasp, her body already burning before her eyes fully opened. Sunlight streamed through the thin curtains of her bedroom, but the warmth she felt had nothing to do with the morning rays. Her skin was flushed, a fine layer of sweat clinging to her neck and chest. Between her legs, her core throbbed insistently, slick and aching as if she had spent the entire night on the edge of release. She sat up slowly, the sheets sticking to her bare thighs. Last night's memories flooded back in vivid detail. Naruto's hands, the way his wand had stretched and filled in that secluded glade. The way she had begged. A soft whimper escaped her as the recollection sent another pulse of heat straight to her core. Her sensitive buttons were already stiff, poking against the thin fabric of her sleep tank top. She pressed her thighs together, but the friction only made the ache worse. This is because of him, that chakra, asterisk, she thought, biting her lip. Asterisk, it's still inside me somehow. Or maybe it's just that I can't stop thinking about him now. Asterisk. Her hand slipped under the waistband of her shorts almost on its own. She was soaked, her folds slippery, buttons swollen and sensitive. 2 fingers slid easily inside her as her thumbs circled the needy bundle of nerves. She closed her eyes and let the fantasy take over. In her mind it was Naruto's fingers, Naruto's mouth. The complete steamy version is waiting on Patreon. Her body was still hot, still restless, still craving the real thing. Craving him. Sakura groaned in frustration and pulled her hand free, staring at her glistening fingers. She brought them to her lips almost without thinking, tasting herself, and the act only made her blush harder. This is bad. I'm getting addicted already. But it felt so good yesterday. So right, even if it shouldn't have. Asterisk. She forced herself out of bed and into a quick shower, hoping cold water would help. It didn't. Every slide of soap over her melons, every pass between her legs, sent sparks through her oversensitive body. By the time she dressed, fresh red shipao dress, white shorts, standard kunoichi gear, she was already pressing her thighs together again just from the memory of Naruto's voice in her ear. She had to see him today. They had the patrol mission. And she already knew she wouldn't be able to focus until she felt him inside her again. Naruto was waiting at the southern gate when she arrived, leaning against the wooden post with his usual easy grin. At 18 he looked every bit the confident young shinobi. Orange jacket open over black mesh, spiky blonde hair catching the morning light, blue eyes bright. But there was something new in the way he carried himself. A subtle magnetism that made Sakura's stomach flip the moment she stepped within a few meters. The effect hit her instantly. A fresh wave of warmth bloomed low in her belly and spread outward, making her nipples tighten against the fabric of her dress. Her cheeks flushed pink before she could stop it. "Morning, Sakura-chan," Naruto greeted, voice warm and a little rougher than usual. "Sleep okay?" She swallowed, trying to sound normal. "Why, yeah. Mostly." Her eyes flicked down his body and back up before she could control herself. God, even his voice is doing things to me now. Naruto noticed the flush, the way she shifted her weight. He had spent part of the night practicing with Kurama, trying to dial the aura down to a low simmer instead of full blast. It helped a little, but proximity to Sakura still made it flare naturally. "You sure?" he asked quietly, stepping a bit closer. "You look flushed again." Sakura's breath hitched. She could smell him, clean sweat, chakra, and something deeper that made her mouth water. "I'm fine. Just yesterday is still on my mind. A lot." She met his eyes, green gaze dark with lingering need. "We should talk about it later. After the mission." Naruto nodded, understanding. "Yeah. Later." His own hardness gave an interested twitch at the promise in her voice. Asterisk, she wants more. Kurama was right, she's already hooked. Asterisk. They set out together, the village falling away behind them as they entered the southern woods. The mission was straightforward: patrol the border trails, check for signs of rogue shinobi activity, disturbed earth, unusual chakra residues, anything out of place. Simple D-rank work on paper, but the woods could be unpredictable. As they walked side by side along the narrow path, the effect on Sakura grew steadily stronger. Every brush of his arm against hers sent heat licking up her spine. Her panties were already damp again, the fabric clinging to her folds with every step. Her thoughts kept drifting, imagining him pushing her against one of the thick tree trunks, hiking up her dress, taking her right there in the open air. Focus, Sakura, asterisk, she scolded herself. Asterisk, you're a kunoichi. You can't be dripping wet on a mission because your teammate's chakra is messing with your head. Asterisk. But the fog was creeping in at the edges of her mind again. Naruto's presence filled her senses. The sound of his breathing, the way his jacket shifted over his shoulders, the occasional glance he threw her way that felt like it saw straight through her. They reached a small clearing where a narrow stream cut across the path. To continue, they had to cross on slippery stepping stones. Naruto went first, then turned and offered his hand. Sakura took it. The moment their skin touched, a jolt of pure lust shot through her. Her knees wobbled. She stumbled on the second stone and Naruto caught her around the waist, pulling her flush against him to steady her. For a second they were pressed together, her melons against his chest, his thigh between hers. Sakura bit back a moan as her button throbbed against the hard muscle of his leg. Easy, Naruto murmured, voice low. His hand stayed on her waist a moment longer than necessary. You okay? She nodded quickly, face burning. Just slipped. Asterisk, liar. I'm soaked and I want you right here on these rocks. Asterisk. They continued deeper into the woods. The patrol was quiet at first, checking tracks, scanning for chakra anomalies, marking safe paths on a small scroll Sakura carried. But the longer they spent alone together, the harder it became for Sakura to hide her state. She kept stealing glances at Naruto's hands, remembering how they had felt on her body yesterday. Her buttons were painfully hard now, rubbing against the inside of her dress with every movement. This is torture, asterisk, she thought, cheeks burning. Asterisk, we're supposed to be professionals. But all I can think about is dropping to my knees right here on the path and sucking sword until he finished down my throat. Or bending over that log and letting him take me from behind while the birds watch. God, what is wrong with me? This chakra is turning me into a complete slut for him, and I don't even want it to stop. Asterisk. Naruto wasn't unaffected either. Even with his attempts to suppress the aura, Sakura's growing arousal fed back into it. He could smell her, and it made his wand half-hard. Asterisk, she's fighting it, but she's losing. And I like it. I like knowing I'm the one doing this to her. The way she keeps pressing her thighs together, the way her breathing changes when I get close. Yesterday she was shy at first. Today she's already craving it. This power, it's dangerous. But damn if it doesn't feel good, asterisk. The path grew narrower, forcing them to walk single file for a stretch. Sakura went ahead, and Naruto's eyes were drawn to the sway of her hips, the way her dress rode up slightly with each step, revealing more of her toned thighs. He had to adjust himself discreetly. Focus on the mission, he told himself. Asterisk, but later I'm going to make her scream my name again. Asterisk.